We don't have background noise. Thank you.
All right. Hopefully, everybody can hear me okay? I'm going to assume?
I can.
Great. Okay, well, first off, my name is Dave Hansel. I'm with Multilink. I'd like to thank you all for inviting us to your show that you've got going on for this and for this opportunity to go over some of our product with you. So I've got a presentation up as it's for our fiber distribution hubs, is what we call them. We do offer quite a wide variety of different cabinets, anything from our FDH cabinets through to like backhaul cabinets, Wi-Fi cabinets, we call them, and or even in the Department of Transportation type of cabinets. Again, for us, it's just going to be for the for what you guys are all going to be interested in. So we have, you know, right here I'm showing up 5 to 6 different cabinets here. We start out with the 144. We go all the way up to a 864 cabinet. I'll kind of talk briefly on each of these because as I go through this here, partway through, I've got a cabinet here that I'll take the camera and show you a little bit more about the product itself. So all of our cabinets are NEMA 4 rated. As you can see on this one here, this is a smaller type. It's a 144. We utilize our CTX type cassettes inside of them. And what's great about that product is that you can take the buffer tube right into the cassette itself. You can do your fusion splicing right in that cassette. And then once you install it into the panel, you can access it from the front panel, and or if you have to go back in because of a splice goes bad, you can pop out that one cassette without affecting everybody in the cabinet and then work on that cassette, redo your work, and then reinstall it back into the cabinet. Going into a little bit larger one, we have a 288 count splice hub, as we call them. As you can see, a lot of our cabinets, they kind of follow the same format where we've got the fiber management, you know, in there for, you know, for the access fiber going through it on the front. You've also got what we call our splitters down below, which you can get a 1x16, 1x32 splitter. Again, depending upon the variations or what your requirements might be for that area or for that cabinet, we have a couple different solutions, so we work with you on that. On the left-hand side, again, it kind of follows the same format as we get larger. The fiber itself can come in, coil up there on the right-hand side. We have fiber management on the inside. As you can see, it keeps things pretty much wide open and a lot of access for you to get your hands in and out of. Again, with a lot of the guys that are out there, as we all know, a lot of us, you know, have some big hands and that stuff. So trying to maintain reliability with our product, we wanted to make sure you've got enough space in there. Now, we went out of the box with this customer. We took that same cabinet that you were just looking at. And what we did was we took a 288 count SCAPC cabinet. We then converted it to a 432 count LC cabinet. So again, we can offer SC or LC type connections inside that cabinet. This one here, this customer, what they had to do, they ran out of ground space, so they had no more permitting area to put a cabinet. So what they found out was they're able to go ahead and utilize their permitted spots on telephone poles where their power supplies were. We worked with them on this. We ended up taking this cabinet, like I said, it was basically a 288 count SC APC, converted it to an LC, which we now have 432 connections in there, which now mounts to the telephone pole. This is working exactly what they wanted for, as well as for what the requirements were met. We've got into our next size up is our 432 count. I've got one of those cabinets here in the room with me that I'll kind of cover a little bit more. But again, as you can see, as the cabinets get a little bit larger, you know, we've got a lot more fiber management in there. Again, one of the things that I know when working in the field myself is making sure we had somewhere to secure the fiber and, you know, put it so when you're working on it, we don't interfere with other customers and or knock cut people off that you don't mean to knock off. So making sure that we had a lot of space inside of here, as well as fiber management. Going up to our next step, which is our 576 cabinet. As you can see, what we've kind of done, and kind of if you saw the 288, we're basically putting two 288 cabinets together here. And, you know, utilizing it, as you can see the picture, basically in the middle of your picture, you can have different configurations of output fiber. Again, in this configuration, we have 4 144 count fibers for the output, we have a 24 count for the input, and this is what this customer wanted. So as I talk about our cabinets here, we can ship you the cabinet. You can take the cabinet, install it yourself, and or we can pre-terminate fiber in here. So for this customer here, what we ended up doing was we had 100-foot pigtails. So there were 144 count coils of fiber on the outside of the cabinet. So when they got the cabinet, all they had to do was pull the fiber through and put it into their splice enclosure, their splice dome, and then their cabinet was basically up and running. The thing they also did too was for the splitters themselves, they would just order the splitters and activate customers accordingly. So in other words, they were saving the capital. Also with having the capital just sitting out in the field, not doing anything. You order it when needed, and then you install it. Now we can install those for you as well. So we have, again, multiple different options. That's one of the things I like to say with Multilink. We like to provide you different solutions as well as options. So we've got into one of our larger cabinets now, which is our 864 count cabinet. Again, we've taken two of them, and this is one of our bigger ones right now. Again, you can see that we have plenty of room in there. As you start to populate it with your splitters, you'll notice that, again, the fiber will start to fill this up pretty quickly. And even as large of a cabinet this is, it does get populated. Now, when you're looking at these cabinets, and I'll show you live, but also too, down at the bottom, we have space for 2 rows of splitters. So the reason we've done that was, again, when we start to think about how we took that 288 count to SCAPC Connect cabinet, converted it to a 432 with LCs, we were able to get a lot more fiber, a lot more connection in the same size cabinet. So with all of our cabinets, we try to go with that mentality that, again, if we need to address a concern and or how do we attack it, we have a couple different solutions. But again, as you can see through the presentations, and again, we can share all this with you. I know this is all being recorded, so if you've got it, we can share some more information. I'm gonna start to speed up just a little bit. These are just some of the components that go inside of them that we do offer. It's a parking lot that if you're not having a connection right now, you can take that connector, put it into a parking lot to keep it up out of the way. Up on the top right, we do have what I was calling our CTX cassettes, which is utilized in all of these types of cabinets here. Again, splitters and some other options there. One other cabinet that we offer that is just a little bit different than our splice hubs that we were just looking at was our 19-inch rack mount. So this, you can order it with 19-inch rack mount capabilities. You can get it pre-terminated already with some of that in there, or you can just order the cabinet and put your own term panel in there and or splitter. But we do offer this type of cabinet. Again, as I was talking about some of the Wi-Fi cabinets, as we call them, and that this is a 12IU 19-inch rack mount cabinet with a heater and air conditioner with a heater. It's basically a 2000 BTU air conditioner with a 500 watt heater. Basically, this is outside of an MDU project. We also have our what we call our backhaul cabinet. Again, this is another option. With this one came with a heat exchanger, but again, we can take that solution. We can put air conditioners on them. So again, as I like to mention, that we do have options for our cabinets. This is just some of the units that are installed. So, and for this, I'm going to kind of cut short here. I will cover one more cabinet here, and this is our wall mount FDH. So if you get inside of some of the MDU projects that you do need a little bit larger cabinet, we do offer a 72 count wall mount. This is basically a 20 by 20 unit that can be installed inside of there. So with that, I'm going to cover our OTNs. We offer our OTNs, which is a very much larger cabinet, and we can put nodes in here as well as some fiber management and some electronics. So again, we go to a 2-bay, which is our 47RU, the 4-bay, which is 96, and then a 6-bay, which is 142. So again, we offer multiple different cabinets, multiple different sizes with multiple different HVAC type components inside of it. Again, you can order them with battery pull-out trays to put the batteries down at the bottom if required. Also generator hookups with these as well, and they're all NEMA 4 rated. And for that, I'm going to go ahead and go live here real quick. Hopefully I won't get you too sick by the camera, by moving the camera around. So I'm going to move the camera up and I'm going to take it over to our cabinet that I've got right here and kind of show you.
Is there a way to get us?
So right over here, as you can see, the doors themselves, we've got a NEMA rating. Again, if you're looking at it, sometimes we found that you may have to double click on my picture of myself right now to make it a large screen. I see that we've got somebody else up there, so hopefully you can kind of just click on ours, but I'm going to go into, as you can see, the fiber management itself. I'll get in a little bit more here. You can see as we start to go down, a lot of the fiber management is called up. You can have Velcro wraps that come with them. Pretty much the fiber management spools that are all right there. You can kind of come on down to the bottom here. We've got a fiber patch panel, which is down through here. The fiber patch panel takes it from the input, your 24 count or 48 count, whichever comes in, goes down to your input of your splitters. Your splitters then come on out and go to all of your connections up above. As you can see, we've got more just fiber management spools up on the other side as well. So I'm going to go ahead and take us to the back side of this cabinet. So hopefully I'm not going to get you too sick here. So as you can see that on the input here, we're coming on down. This is actually a 432 count fiber coming into this cabinet down at the bottom. So pretty much, well, as you can see, the fiber management just comes right up. We have it coiled off on the side, right over there. Goes into the buffer tubes, go directly right into the CTX cassette. As I was saying, inside of each of the cassettes, you can do your 12 count fusion splicing, which then if you have to access it, there's the nuts on the back that you can go ahead and remove them. Over on this other side is some of the input fiber. As you can see, we've got the management up at the top, which comes on down to, we have a splice tray down in the middle over here, which takes, in this case, we have down at the bottom, you can see the input, which is a 24 count, pretty much all coiled up, comes into the splice tray, and then goes right on down to your patch panel for your splitters. We have 5 access points for the fiber itself coming in at the bottom that you can bring in. So again, if you get into the, you're needing maybe 2 or 3 different 144s going to different splice locations, we can do that for you. Again, back door hinged up. It's got the wind stops for the doors themselves with the gasketing to keep it with the NEMA 4 rating, as well as the 3-point latch system, for the handles and the locks. Again, the locks themselves are padlockable if need be. So we have that option for you as well. And it looks like I'm down to about 2 minutes left. So if there's any questions, I'll kind of ask out there if there's anybody has any questions about the cabinets or anything. I would be glad to answer them. If not, then we'll let you get back to your show here. Okay. Doesn't sound like there's any. Looking to see if there's anything that. No? Okay. I'm not seeing any questions. So again, if you have any questions or any inclination as to more product on this, you can go to gomultilink.com to our website and pull up. There's the categories for all of our fiber distribution hubs as well as all of our other product. Or you can reach out to your salesperson for that area. And I believe for your area is going to be Spence Carlson. So reach out to Spence, and he's very knowledgeable about it as well. And we'll get in touch with us. So with that, I would like to thank you for your time today, and be safe and have a great day.
Thanks, Dave.